to Bake to the Future, the podcast where we take a forward-looking perspective on the baking industry. I'm your host, Jennifer Kohlfeldt, Vice President of Operations and Membership at the American Bakers Association. Today, joining us, we have Cordia Harrington, CEO of Crown Bakeries and Chair of the ABA Board of Directors, as well as ABA President and CEO Eric Dell. Eric and Cordia have been instrumental in the work over the past year in the development of ABA's new strategic plan, and we are excited to hear their perspectives on that process, what it means for ABA, and for the commercial baking industry. Cordia and Eric, welcome to the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us. It's good to be together today.
Well, hey, Jen, glad to be here.
So ABA recently unveiled a new 5-year strategic plan. Eric, could you share with us how that came to fruition?
Absolutely, Jen. This was one of the top priorities as I was going through the process of the CEO search a little over a year ago for ABA. And this was a priority for Cordia, for the entire board, for the EC and the membership to really have a strategic plan to guide the future of the organization and the association for growth, to have a real focus and grow the value of ABA. So that's really where this idea came from. We're thrilled that we're able to share the new strategic plan with the entire commercial baking industry. It's really a culmination of a lot of extensive research, feedback and collaboration with our members. We spent the course of the last year visiting with members. Many of you visited with members. Jen, many on our staff visited with members across the country. We had over 150 members give input on our survey and 40 listening sessions across the country as we visited with members at their locations and took that feedback in to help create this. It was really helpful, and thanks to the leadership of the entire board of directors, notably their participation in a 2-day session that we had last August where we took input from the board to help create at a planning session what it ended up as our strategic plan. So kudos to the board. It is just exciting to finally be able to unveil it. And I'm happy that we're able to do that now.
Okay, great. And so Cordia, as the ABA chair, your leadership over the past year has been integral to the development of the plan. How do you think it uniquely positions ABA to serve the industry?
Well, Jen, the strategic plan focuses on the key initiatives that will drive high-value growth for the organization. The ABA's plan is comprehensive and dedicated to elevating our industry and driving growth and innovation for our members. To determine the right focus, as Eric mentioned, we really spoke with our members and to try to find out which direction we should actually go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something important, Cordia, that you and I agree on from the outset was really member driven,
Right.
and not as much staff driven, but really finding out what's important to the members.
Right. And from all of that feedback, we really got 3 main goals. And reflecting the themes consistently highlighted in the member interviews and surveys, that you just really bubble to the top. Can I tell you what those are?
Absolutely.
I would love to hear those, yes.
Okay, great. First, creating and promoting an industry-wide destination workplace. In other words, we want to be the place everybody wants to come to work. Secondly, positively positioning the industry with policymakers and consumers for category growth. And third, bolstering the ABA's programs and services to ensure the association has a high-value impact for the membership and the industry.
That's really interesting. Eric, I wonder, could you elaborate on how the plan will achieve those goals?
Yeah, I'll build it out a little bit for everyone who's listening. First of all, on destination workplaces, Cordia said, we want to be the place where people want to come to work. We want our industry to be the destination for the workforce and be a place where folks can come and have an entire career, and an enjoyable career, and something that is very appealing to them as well. So as we learned through the process, as we were talking to the members of the board, and others. It really are the HR professionals who know how to create those dynamic workplaces. So we're going to part of the determining our workplace, a destination workplace, is pulling all those HR professionals together and providing resources that promote effective practices for recruitment and retention across the industry. There'll be a concerted effort to drive awareness among potential talent pools, some of those current talent pools, some of those new talent pools, and advocating for policies that support that dynamic workforce with elected officials and government officials and so forth. So in the destination workplace, I think it's going to be very important to be working directly with those HR professionals. And Cordia, that's one of the things that I think we heard specifically from the board or during that August work session that we had was talk to our HR professionals. You can talk to the CEOs, but the HR professionals really know when the rubber meets the road, right?
Absolutely. And I think you bring up a good point. When we were trying to determine the right goals, we not only spoke with the C-suite, but we spoke with every level of the organizations, managers, plant managers, and different people to find out what the needs really were. How can the association really help?
Absolutely. And I think we're seeing that through our membership department as well as trying to get deeper into our member organizations in lots of areas, but especially in this destination workplace. The second one, category growth goal. Obviously, we plan to collaborate with nonprofit organizations and government officials to improve food security for all communities. Because if we can help folks who are food insecure, don't have access to food, if we can help reach those areas, not only are we doing well for the world and for our communities that we live in and work, live, and play in, but we're also doing well for the industry and enhancing and growing the category. So you can do well for the world and do well for the industry at the same time, which I think is really important. And we'll be telling those stories as well for category growth. I think you remember, Cordia, as we were working through this, we were talking about, gosh, the industry is doing so many positive things and gives back so much to the community in terms of community service, but also in terms of environmental, what we do for the environment, what we do around energy and water, and we just haven't done a good enough job of telling those stories and compiling them and getting them out there. And I think you'd agree, Cordia, that folks are really giving back a lot.
They really do, and I think you're right. Unfortunately, it's a very well-kept secret. And with the workforce today, people want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Right. Yes, they need to make a living, but this is when they really get to know our industry and see the heart and the passion behind those in it. We love to serve. We love to provide nutritious products for our consumers. But the giving back that we do, it's really the right place for the young worker to be today, because they can make a positive difference in something bigger than themselves.
And you're right. I was just reading an article about Gen Z workers earlier today, actually, about what they're looking for. And they're looking for pay, they're looking for ability to move up quickly, but they're also looking for a company that gives back and does the right thing.
Yes.
So that's really important. And it helps with category growth. So that'll be a big thing we'll be doing on the category growth side. No, the last goal is really higher level impact. And that's I'll call it inward facing for the association, because we really want to build, I put it this way, we want to build the best association that there is. we want to be the best association out there and really taking it to the next level with what we provide to our members in terms of executive level thought leadership, all the programming and the services that we do, and advocating on behalf of our industry as well with elected officials.
Well, the reputation of ABA has been strong and solid for years and years. We're not fluff. We do what we say we're going to do. And I think the policymakers in Washington respect that. But I love you growing our profile and our visibility, because there are issues that come up that we need the policymakers' support with. And, you involving more member leadership as we go on the Hill and the fly-ins, the things that you're doing. It makes us aware of the work going on behind the scenes on behalf of the industry, as well as makes you feel like you're really making a difference by being a member of ABA.
Right. No, I agree. And it's just amazing what I've already seen over the course of a year. And to your point, we have a strong organization. But when I came in, one of the good things was the organization was so strong that we had a strong base to work from. And I think we're just building and continuing to build that and make it stronger and stronger.
Fantastic.
Well, we obviously have an ambitious agenda ahead of us. Cordia, what are you most excited to see coming out of the new strategic plan?
Well, I'm excited about all of it, Jen. But having lived through the last few years where labor has been so difficult to get in the plants,
yes. Mm-hmm.
I think the idea that ABA is going to promoting our industry as a great place to work will go a long way to attracting the right kind of workforce and give opportunities to people that's better than their wildest dreams. So I'm most excited about the workforce initiative.
And Cordia, it's interesting you say that. I was talking to a baker yesterday who brought in a new person to manage a plant, and they were from another manufacturing sector, and they had not worked in the baking industry. And you mentioned earlier about how people care about what they're baking in the industry and the product they're making. And this plant manager, had come from another industry, and he's been working in the industry now for about 6 months, I think, baking. And he said his boss, the CEO, was telling me, he's like, this new plant manager just loves the baking industry. He's like, he had never been in it before. And I think that's the story, right? People have passion about what they're doing, and it's a great industry.
Exactly.
They absolutely do. Eric, do you have thoughts on how we can get members involved in advancing the agenda of the strategic plan?
Well, that's one of the most important things we're going to need. We're going to need our members to help. We can't get there as a staff. We're lean and mean, right? As Cordia said,
yes,
we're strong, but we need the members. We need the members to help us. We encourage all the members to join us on this journey, whether through attending events, being involved in events, advocacy efforts, leadership development. Every member has a role to play in this strategic plan, and they can really help us meet the goals and expand and shape the industry's future. So I'm excited about that part. At the end of the interview, there should be a link that takes you to the strategic plan, the website, where you can learn more about how you can be a champion for the industry and help us on this journey to really expand and grow the industry and benefit both the business, but also the broader community that we're serving as well.
It sounds very exciting. I'm looking forward to
Absolutely.
it. Cordia, with ABA's new strategic direction officially launched, which is very exciting, do you have any closing thoughts to share with your fellow industry executives about the future of the industry?
Well, I just want to remind everybody we've got an ABA convention coming up in April in Phoenix. It is going to be fantastic. We've got outstanding speakers, great networking, and right now the largest number of members ever have signed up to come. So really hope that if you don't have it on your calendar, you'll put it on your calendar and join us in Phoenix.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I will say, with the strategic plan now being announced, the entire agenda, and Cordia pointed to the entire agenda for the convention is really based on this plan to help us start out and really kick off our work on the plan at the convention.
That sounds wonderful. Well, Cordia and Eric, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your valuable insights and feedback.
Thank you, Jen.
It's great to be with you, Jen and Eric. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Cordia, for helping guide us through the process of the strategic plan.
For anyone looking for more information, please visit americanbakers.org/2024 strategic plan. We hope that you enjoyed today's conversation. We also value your feedback. Let us know what you thought of the show by emailing hello@americanbakers.org. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you for tuning in.